And wait, there was more. How did I leave this out in the last video? Seriously? I was so outraged about that red card they took away from Gerard Martin in a play where VAR never steps in to overturn that kind of red card after that action. Let's review some examples, since people asked in the last video why I used the case where that Rayo player Patricio wasn't shown the card. Patetes, but it was to call out that Archivo VR account. But the thing is, there have been a ton of plays where the player touches the ball first, then catches the other guy's ankle with his studs and still gets sent off. Today, Arzaba will see it. Yene, the player from Rayo, anyway, we've seen a million of those, and it's always seemed exaggerated to us because in the end, it's football, right? But that's the new football. But they show it to others and not to Barca, because those who paid a top refereeing official for 2 decades and now in theory don't pay, but maybe we'll find out in 20 years. They play by different rules, they used to and still do, and what about everyone else's rules? But wait, that's why I'm bringing this up now, because there's something huge going on here. The sending off of Nico González, the Atlético de Madrid player, for that tackle on Lamine Yamal. It was bad. Melero Lopez got involved for something ridiculous, really ridiculous, saying, hey, that wasn't a second yellow, it was a red card. In the end, the result was a red card for the Atlético de Madrid player, who actually already had a yellow card for handling the ball. Some things also happened. Some incredible things happened in the match. And obviously it was a second yellow. If there hadn't been an offside, a red card in any case, because it was indeed the second one. But I said, hey, I think this is offside. These are the figures. The image at the moment of the pass was this one, which made me think Lamine Yamal might be offside. Now, we don't know. Of course, we don't know because they didn't analyze all the people who were there, at least the two involved. Because honestly, it's really incredible. Do you see the player who is next to Lamine Yamal? He was the one they had to determine whether he was level or not, or whether he was off by a few centimeters or millimeters. What a coincidence. They always favor Barca, and we wondered if they'd remove Nico González's yellow card. Ended up being a red, right? And of course, they say it's a legal position and all that, but you just have to accept it and you start thinking, well, the frame, anyway, these things we've always suspected. And after a while, I didn't see it because at the start of the second half, I was listening on the radio and missed seeing it. I didn't include it in the last video because I only heard about it. I think Paco González mentioned on the Cope broadcast, like, hey, the thing with the dummies is a bit weird, isn't it? I wondered what happened with the dummies. This is what happened with the dummies. Do you see there in the offside line another player with whom they're drawing the line here with the dummies? Well, it turns out it's the one in the center circle, the one that's clearly behind Lamine Yamal, on the line where the grass is cut, but clearly behind. You didn't have to check for offside with that one. It was with the one next to Lamine Yamal, who doesn't appear in the image with the dummies. But what kind of disgrace is this, man? Well, he's not here. Unbelievable. That one appears. Well, I mean, everything is absolutely manipulated. If there was any doubt, this is a scandal. If there was any doubt, here's another one. I remember that Villarreal goal by Gerard Martinez. I don't know if they disallowed it or if they gave it to him. I'm a little tongue-tied. If they disallowed it or if they gave it to him. We talked about it when they showed the images with the little figures and nothing matched up there. I mean, it was basically virtual reality. But anyway, I mean, manipulated or manipulations, clearly. Yesterday's too. But what are they doing putting the guy from the center circle, but it's the other one? I mean, really, seriously? Wasn't it enough for them to rescue Barca and Gerard Martin's play to take away the red card? They can't have Barca playing with 10 men. Wouldn't want them to have a plus 69 red card differential in the 21st century. Wouldn't want it to be plus 68. Careful, let's not be mean to the one who had the deputy head of referees on his payroll for millions. But also this man, unbelievable. All right. By the way, Atlético de Madrid, not a word. It was clear Atlético de Madrid wasn't going to complain. There's a twist in the argument that I loved. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I'm going to show it to you now. From a guy named Pascual. This Pascual from Atlético, Pascual Ruiz Arnal. Here he is. I just love this guy. He says Atlético de Madrid publicly complains about refereeing after the derby, and then this happens. You're starting to see that complaining doesn't help. I mean, he still has to mention Real Madrid to complain about the dirty stunt yesterday, but bringing Madrid into it and saying, "Hey, we complained about that, which was outrageous," and then look, they keep doing it to us, right? But don't you dare mention Barca. Don't complain specifically about what just happened to you in this match. Just stir up trouble about what happened before. Man, seriously, Barca's useful idiot. In the end, there were people saying there was this account with Godin's picture saying, well, this is the most corrupt club in football history and so on, really going after Barca. And I was saying, well, report it every day, but it's right in front of your face, just like it's in front of the faces of all the first division clubs and some that are in the second division. Maybe they got relegated because of that, because in some match against them, they got robbed. No, no, no. The one who had the deputy head of referees on the payroll was laughing in your face, but why don't you complain the way you should, right? Anyway, you should also tell Madrid, because I don't know if they complained the way they should have at the beginning and not now. No. But anyway, was I going to show you this thing about the referee analysts? This is incredible. Wait, but before I show the examples, this is incredible. This guy, Mister, has uploaded this. He says, Martin kicks the ball and then drives his studs into the opponent forcefully and above the ankle. With the current criteria, it's not a red card. And then the guy adds, he says, next, I'll explain why these plays, when the ball is kicked and the opponent enters the space, don't warrant a red card. Whether we agree with the criteria is a separate issue. I'll say it now. I don't like it. Okay, he adds this part. Do you remember that yesterday in the video after the match, I showed you the complete rule? Well, this bastard cuts it and says if the contact is unavoidable and unintentional, it's considered accidental play. It was unavoidable and unintentional. That's what happened today. The Zabal one we're going to see and the Lene one we're going to see. But they gave him a red card and not this guy. And they're even telling him, but so blatantly. But he puts 0.2, but because he cuts, it's 0.2, which is when he says, in the end, if excessive force is used, it will be considered a serious foul play, accompanied by a red card for expulsion. And the referee analyst, well, we used to laugh at Pablo Fernandez, at this guy, but this guy is even worse. Teledeporte with public money and Goal, television back in the day, and Radio Marca too. This guy is also on Goal. He's on El de Marc. He's on Radio Marca. He's on Laser. The coach noted that these are people who generally haven't achieved anything and, if lucky, have only refereed in the 4th or 5th division. And now they're refereeing analysts and they're on these media outlets. And so these people shape public opinion. Of course, you see this and you think, hey, look, a former referee or a referee is telling me this, so it must be true. No, the guy is quoting only part of the rule, only part of the rule. Luckily, we have social media where there are people who don't buy into it, right? And I say, man, read the whole rule, because at the end, it tells you why this has to be a red card, why this has to be a red card, why. To Yene in that play, excuse me for a moment, but why is this? Wait a second. I have to check something. Give me a second, because there's a problem here with the images. I don't know why. I can't play it here. Now, I don't know why. Let's see if I can share it with you properly now. There you go, right? Well, it turns out that what Yene did touch the ball. I have to be careful because of the league's copyright issues. Do you see how the Getafe player in a match against Sevilla, this was years ago because it was against Ocampos, he touches the ball first. Give me a second. I have to pause it every little bit. There he touches the ball, Yene in that play, and then the man steps on Ocampos. It's the same as Gerard Martin, the same, but they didn't give him a yellow card, I think, that time, or nothing, and VAR came in to give him a red card. And I don't know if it was Melero Lopez. I haven't been able to check this detail, but someone from Getafe was complaining here as if maybe it was. No, I can't confirm it, but I don't care. The referee. VAR came in to say, hey, listen, this is a red card. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. Well, the one with Oyarzabal, this one is even more incredible. The one with Oyarzabal, this is heavy. And actually here, Oyarzabal was even less at fault. Why? Because in any case, the one with Gerard Martin, the one with Yene, any of these, their tackles, their red cards, well, Gerard Martin's was taken away, but these are actions that shouldn't happen. This didn't happen in football before. Besides, it's just really bad luck. It's really bad luck. Because here in this play with Oyarzabal, VR got involved. Here, Sanchez Martinez was there. Manolete, VR got involved here to say, hey, Jose Maria, come here. I have to show you this. This is a red card. It's the same kind of studs up tackle, right? or Oyarzabal that day, right? Let's see. Damn. Let's see if they show it properly. The guy controls the ball first. Well, I won't be able to show it to you properly. Damn it. Hold on a second. I'm taking a risk here because then these bastards will demonetize me. Well, trust me. Oyarzabal controls the ball first. He doesn't see the Alaves player coming. He touches the ball first and can't move his foot differently, just like Yene and Gerard Martin did, then digs his studs into his ankle. On the contrary, VAR intervened and Oyarzabal was sent off. Of course. All right. For those who told me, but show plays where there was a red card, well, look, here they are. There have been a million more. Seriously, a million more. By the way, one thing about Lamine Yamal is that a lot of things happened, man. Another snub from Lamine Yamal to his coach. He doesn't shake his hand and gestures at him from the field. It's the same issue. Why take me off instead of someone else? And I've seen these. I haven't really talked about it on the channel, but I've seen things like this in the last few matches. Like, I don't know, maybe three in a row or something like that, right? It was an issue before we went on the international break. It was an issue. So he snubs his coach again and then goes over here to another member of Barca's staff to give explanations. And the other guy says, come on, what did you do? Well, okay. Look, what Vinicius did with Xavi Alonso was a disgrace and something for which Vinicius should have been sanctioned, and it was an intolerable snub. What Lamine Yamal did to Flick is a disgrace, something he should be sanctioned for, and an intolerable snub made even worse by the fact that Lamine Yamal does this to his coach every weekend. Well, you'll see which journalists, which media outlets, and what they're going to focus on in all this. Well, practically none. Some will do it, but you already know how this works, right? It's Lamine Yamal. He plays for the Spanish national team. Let's not criticize him. Well, anyway. Well, another act of disrespect from the kid to his coach. Absolutely shameful. Well, I was going to devote part of this video to Madrid, but we'll do that in the next one, right? Yeah, because otherwise it'll end up being too long. To reflect on why Barca has won 3 of the last 4 leagues from us and what kind of problem this is at Real Madrid and why we are in the situation we're in. Yes, we still have chances in the Champions League. Let's see what happens against Bayern, but it's not normal for us to throw away the league every year with the caveat that Barca has a safety net, that we've been massacred by the referees, that something happens every weekend, whatever you want. But the referee, well, look, yesterday we mentioned in the last video that they denied us a penalty because the broadcast didn't replay it, because nobody said anything about it. For a handball by Pablo Torre in the box, unbelievable. Watch the last video. It was obvious. Mbappe passes, Torre blocks it with his hand, the ball goes out for a corner, but nothing happens and no replay is shown, right? And the last decisions by Sanchez Martinez in that match. But even so, that's what I'm saying, and it's going to be the main point in the next video. The players' expressions, their attitude, Camavinga not defending, Trent Alexander-Arnold, who looks like a secretary 2.0. All of this makes you lose the league. The rest is just extra. In the end, Barca will be saved by yesterday's events. We already know this. But what happened with Madrid is shameful, absolutely shameful. Win or lose the Champions League this year. It's absolutely shameful. And things have to happen this summer because this can't go on. I mean, the Real Madrid fan who is used to excellence, well, even though these things have happened more often lately than we'd like, doesn't deserve for the players to pick and choose which games to show up for. They don't deserve for the domestic competition, the one every weekend, to be thrown away, to be given up. Se tire. They'll rob us because they always do, but to just give up. And that's one of the reasons why we're in the situation we're in. Anyway, I hope everything goes well for you. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, and that's it. Have a great Sunday. Bye.